So hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel Java Guru Ravi, and I Ravi Khan Sahu welcome you in this new video. So let's get started. So hello everybody, in today's video we are going to discuss anonymous classes. So anonymous classes are one of the most confusing topics and it is very difficult to understand, but I have tried to create some scenario through which you can understand the concept of anonymous class. So let us start with the anonymous class. First thing, I told you earlier also that anonymous class and local class are specific type of non-static nested class. So anonymous class is also a non-static nested class. So local class and anonymous classes will be having all the features that a non-static class is having. Like it cannot declare its own static members. It can access the static as well as non-static member of the enclosing class. So all these features will be available, plus they are having some restrictions. So one important point in the local class, I told you that local class cannot have the access modifiers. Second thing that is important here is that local class can access the members of enclosing class similar to the non-static nested class, but local class can access the final or effectively final data members or variables of enclosing block. Right, this is important point, so you can make a note of this, that a local class can only access the final or effectively final members of the enclosing block. So this point I might have missed in the previous video, so I am covering here. So let us come to this scenario. Let us understand what is anonymous class. So as the anonymous class, the name suggests, anonymous class means a class which is not having any name. So here we are going to create some class which is not having any name. Second thing is, it is instantiation at the time of declaration. This is a term that we use for anonymous class, instantiation at the time of declaration, because after declaration you cannot instantiate it because it does not have any name, right? So let us come to this scenario. First of all, understand this class test. Let's say you have some class test, and in this class test you have some important method that you want to use, and this important method is expecting some object of X type, and here we have some very useful code. So I am interested to call this method important. So what I will do, I have created my class me, and in this class I am trying to access or invoke this method important because there is some very useful code that I want to access. So what I'll do here is, I have to access this method of some other class, so definitely I'll have to create the object of this class. So I'll first of all create the object of test class, and test is a normal class, so I can create its object in the normal manner. So I'll write test ob is equal to new test. So I have created the object of class test. Now we have the object of test, so can we call the important method? So now I'll try to call the method of important using the object reference ob. So I'll be writing here ob dot important. So as soon as you will try to call this important method, now you have to pass the parameter. The parameter is X type object. So now we will concentrate on the X because we have to create the object of X. Why we have to create the object of X? Because we have to pass here to call the method. Because you already know that if some method is expecting some int type of value, so while calling that method you have to pass that argument. If any method is expecting some string type of value, so you have to pass the string type of value over there while calling the method. So same way this method is asking for the X type of object. So definitely to call this method you have to pass the object of X type. So I'll say, okay, what is the problem here? Let us create the object of X. So I will try to create the object of X. But what is X? If X is a normal class, then I don't have any problem. I can create the object of x and I can simply call the important method. But suppose x is some interface or x is some abstract class. It might be possible that x is an interface or x is an abstract class. Then how you will create the object of x? Right? So in this case, I will be facing the problem that how I will create the object of x here. So this is the problem, how you will create the object of x here. So the solution is, definitely there is a concept that says that if some parent type of object is required, like x type object is required, but you can pass the object of its subclass. It means parent reference can hold the child object. So you have to pass the object of subclass of x. Right? This is the only possibility because x cannot be instantiated. So what you will have to do is you have to create a subclass of x and then you will have to pass the object of its subclass. Right? So we will create a subclass of x and then we will pass the object. So how you will create the subclass of x? Definitely you will create some class. Let's say I will create a class A which will implement or extends x, and as soon as you implement or extend x, what you have to do? You have to override all the abstract methods. Otherwise this class will have some abstract method and it cannot be instantiated in that case because it will be abstract. So I have to make this class a non-abstract, and to make it non-abstract you have to override all the abstract methods here. So this is the way that you can do, and then you can pass the object of a here. So what you will write here is, you will create the object of a, so you can write a obj is equal to new a, and you can pass here obj. So this is one solution. This is a normal solution when you don't use the anonymous class. Right? So definitely if the object of some type x is required and that type is uninstantiable, so in that case the solution is you have to create the subclass of that type and then pass the object of that subclass. But here we have some questions. The first question is, do you think that its name should be always A? Can we make its name ABC? Can we make it name PQR? Can we make it something XYZ? Obviously yes. So the first important point here is that this name doesn't matter. Why I have created this class? Do you have any interest in this class? Are you going to have some kind of interest in what is defined inside this class? Actually no. Why we have created this class? Because the only thing that you are interested is the object of this x. You created this class because you are not interested on this, you are interested in the object of x type, right? So what we are going to do here is, we are going to create the anonymous class. This is obviously one way that you can use here, but it is not the most compact solution. The solution can be more concise here, and the solution is in the form of anonymous class. So what we are going to do here is, anonymous class says that instantiation, because you are interested in instance only. So instantiation at the time of declaration. So let us understand the syntax of anonymous class. So what is anonymous class syntax? Anonymous class is simply saying that if you want to pass the object of any type which is uninstantiable, so you will say, let's say I want to call the important method, and here you have to pass the object of x. right? So anonymous class is saying कि okay, assume that the object of X can be created. Assume that the object of X can be created, so create its object here only. Local class was there in which we are declaring some class inside some block. Anonymous class is a class where we are declaring a class inside the parameter list. Maybe in the constructor, maybe in the method. So this is a class which is declared in the parameter, right? So how you will implement the anonymous class? Simply instantiate, means write new. New is used for instantiation. So you will write new and then instantiate it. What kind of instance you want? X type. So X is uninstantiable, you cannot instantiate, but anonymous class says if this is anonymous class, it is not having any name, you just assume that X can be instantiated. So just create an instance on the name of parent type only, something like this, new X. Now here you can be asked, if X is uninstantiable, why you are writing new X? So you have to simply say that this is anonymous class. This is not creating the object of X, this is creating the object of subclass of X, like that class A. But it is not having any name like ABC here. You just, this is the syntax provided to you which says just write new and instantiate on the name of X. Means you can instantiate with the name of X, means parent type, because anonymous class is not having any name. So you cannot write new A. You write the name X, but it is not the object of X, it is the object of subclass of X, right? So you will write new X. Now you will be asking, where is this anonymous class? So next step is, after writing new X, define the body of that class. So here only, that's what I said, instantiation at the time of declaration. So where is your class? Give the class body here. That's it. Right? Anonymous class says that instantiate to what you are going to instantiate. You are going to instantiate some anonymous class. It is not having any name. So use the name of the parent. New X. And where is the anonymous class body? Create the body here. That's it. And this is in the parameter. So this parenthesis you have to close. So you are closing it here. So this is complex, but this can be understood easily. It is instantiation. Instantiation of what? Anonymous class. Anonymous class is not having any name, so use the name of the parent type X and then give the body of the class. So this is your syntax of the anonymous class. Now what you will write inside the class? What is mandatory here? First thing is, what is mandatory here? Implement all the abstract method of the X type. Whatever type, like you were implementing here all the abstract methods, similarly here you will have to do this. You will have to implement or override all the abstract method. You cannot leave even a single one. All the abstract methods you have to implement here. So what you will implement here is, you will write here, what you will write? If it is an interface, so you have to explicitly write here, public void go. And you will give some body. Similarly, second method is there. So you will have to write here public void do. Right? So this is something which is compulsory. Which is compulsory? What is compulsory? You have to override all the abstract methods of X, whose object you were expecting here. Right? So this is your anonymous class. Again repeating. This is your, where is your anonymous class? This is your anonymous class. And this is instantiation at the time of declaration. Instantiation at the time of declaration. Again, simple, wherever the object of some type is required which cannot be instantiated, so what you have to do is simply write new. Assume that instantiation is possible. You will write new, then the type, and then write the body of its subclass. This subclass is anonymous class. Now certain restrictions here. First restriction, anonymous class is the only nested class which cannot define its constructor. You cannot write constructors inside the anonymous class. Local class have constructor, nested class have constructor, inner class can have constructor, but anonymous class cannot have any constructor. Second thing, similar to the local class, anonymous class can access only effectively final or final variables of enclosing block. Right? Third thing is, anonymous class can access the static as well as non-static members of enclosing class. So enclosing block only final and effectively final members, but enclosing class static as well as non-static members. Right? So let us understand what is the effectively final or final. So let us see here. This anonymous class is defined here, and which is the enclosing block for this anonymous block? This anonymous class, which is the enclosing block? Obviously this method. This method is the enclosing block of this anonymous class. So let's say I am writing here some variable int x is equal to 5. Int x is equal to 5. So this x is equal to 5, and I am saying that this is a final variable. This is a final member of your class. Final int x is equal to 5. Right? So can you access this value x here in this anonymous class? Let's say in this go function I want to print the value of x. So I'll write system.out.println x. Is it possible? So the answer is yes, because anonymous class and local class can access the local variable of enclosing block when it is final or effectively final. So is it final? Yes, it is final. So this is called as accessible, because this is okay, because x is final. Okay, this is your final. Now if I said, okay, let me remove this final keyword. Now is it feasible to access x here in the anonymous class? Anonymous class x can access the final or effectively final member of enclosing block. So is it final? No, it is not final. Is it effectively final? Yes, it is effectively final. What is the meaning of effectively final? Effectively final member is a member which is not getting any value reassigned. So you can check here, the value of x is not getting modified anywhere inside this block. So if its value is not getting modified, it means it is effectively final. So this x is accessible here. This concept is called as effectively final. Third concept here is, let's say third scenario we will take here is, now if I write here somewhere, let's say here I am writing x plus plus. I am writing now x plus plus. Now is it feasible to access this x here inside this anonymous class? So you can check here, you are trying to access x. X is a data member of enclosing block. Is it final? This is not final. Is it effectively final? It is no more effectively final. Why? Because the value of x is getting updated here. So it is neither final nor effectively final. It means this is going to give you a compilation error. The same thing applies to the local class also. Now one more scenario. Can we write something like this? I have discussed the same thing in the video of final data members. So can we write something like this? Final int x, and then I am writing here x is equal to 10. So I have told you that final variables can be assigned the value only once. So if you are creating a final local variable, so final local variable x is created, have you assigned any value? No. So you can assign the value only once. So x is equal to 10, you can write here, value is assigned. Is it final? Yes. Is it effectively final? Yes. It is not getting any value reassigned. Effectively final means it should not be reassigned any value. But is it a compile time constant? So it is not a compile time constant, means it cannot be used as a case constant in the switch case. This is Oracle certification question. If you are writing like this, so case value cannot be x. You cannot write case x, right? But if you are writing like this, final int x is equal to 10, then this can be written in the switch case as case x, right? So case switch cases can use the compile time constant as a case value. So I hope you understood the term compile time constant. Compile time constant means if you are declaring local variable and it is getting assigned the value during the declaration only, then it is compile time constant, right? So that's all about the anonymous class. One more thing, the naming convention of anonymous class, as it is not having any name, so its dot class file will be created as like here. What will be the dot class file name here for this class? It will be outer class name dollar. Similar to the local class, it will put 1 here, but there is no name further, so it will be me $1 dot class. If you have one more anonymous class, it will be named as me $2 dot class, and so on, right? So similar to the local class, but local class is having name. So after 1, 2, 3, it will be having the local class name, but anonymous class is not having any name. So after 1, 2, 3, there will be no name. So it is outer class name $1 dot class, outer class name $2 dot class, and so on, right? So that's all for today. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you find this video useful, so please like, subscribe and share with all of your friends so that they can also get benefited. Ravikant Sahu signing off. Thank you.